there is no way we will be able to achieve our objective of giving adequate, affordable housing to our people as governments alone. We have to partner, we have to join hands together with private sector. Again, as you have said, private sector is cautious. So the first thing we have to be able to do is to create an enabling environment for them to thrive. We need to be able to ensure that the right policies, that the right frameworks are in place to encourage a private sector. For example, in Kenya, just a few weeks ago, one of the big problems and challenges that we have is mortgages because of lack of long-term money. So working together with our development partners, we have established a mortgage refinance scheme that is aimed at encouraging banks to give longer term and therefore cheaper mortgages to our people. Ultimately, we're also now looking at working with private sector to develop infrastructure by providing them with the land, providing them with the necessary infrastructure, and the guarantees that they require. So we try to backstop, especially the low-income earners, by guaranteeing that we will uptake those properties, thereby they develop, we will uptake those properties, while at the same time creating and putting in place measures that enable, especially our low-income people, to be able to access some of these facilities. We're also looking at encouraging the development also of the inputs, cement, steel, new innovations. Where can we give necessary tax breaks so that we become attractive and they are able to increase and to expand their production of all these inputs that are required to go into the housing sector. So that again is another area that we must focus so that we are encouraging at the same time for them to invest and to those who have invested to expand their investment. Lastly, we're also saying that we also want our small and medium enterprises not to be left out. For example, in all the government schemes that we're now doing, we're saying that in order for us to guarantee and to say that we're participating with private sector, we want a certain portion of construction material to be reserved for these small and medium enterprises. For example, doors, windows, cupboards, and things that they can make. So they are also part and parcel of the process, because ultimately they will be the homeowners themselves. That is the group that we are targeting. So let them be involved. Let them create the income that will also enable them ultimately to also become homeowners. So that partnership between big industry, small and medium enterprise must also be encouraged so that we're not leaving anyone behind. So ultimately, private sector, government, within private sector, large and small, create a facilitating, enabling environment for them to become active partners in helping us achieve our objective of housing. The provision of affordable housing is a right that is enshrined in our current 2010 Constitution. A right that is also in our SDG 11 that we have all sanctioned and approved. But ultimately, it's a right, especially in a growing, urbanized world, that is going to be a massive challenge for many of us, especially in the developing world, to achieve. That said, it is therefore important for us to look at alternative, new and innovative ways of actually achieving this objective. The traditional manner in which we have focused and moved on with shelter is not able to keep pace with a growing demand of a growing young population. So we ourselves are keenly focused on looking at to how we can change the manner in which we provide this housing. And this goes all the way from the supply of materials, to the type of houses that we build, to where we build, to how green can we make this housing, but also to new and innovative ways of financing housing. How can we make housing more affordable and available? How can we attract, because we also recognize that governments alone are not in a position to provide all the number of units that are required by our population. How can we find new and innovative ways of involving the private sector to support us in this development? So these are some of the things that we're currently looking at. And our target right now is to see if we can provide 500,000 new units, which for Kenya is going to be a major milestone, because our demand right now is almost 200,000 units a year, and we have a huge and massive backlog. That we can't do without partnering, like I said, with private sector, without finding new and innovative ways of reducing costs of construction, how to supply materials, how to engage financiers in terms of giving longer-term mortgages that people can afford. So these are some of the challenges that are there, and like I'm saying, we're not going to be able to do it if we focus ourselves on the traditional methods. We need to look into the future, the use of technology, in order to help us achieve the objective of providing our people with affordable. Kenya renews her commitment to the climate change agenda, and we will continue to pursue, together with our colleagues around the globe, to ensure that we have the right environment for our people to live in. I think the second is a new, renewed commitment to our private sector partners, who we have said are essential for us to be able to achieve our objective. And we want to create an environment where you can thrive, where you can invest in an open, transparent Kenyan society, because those are critical ingredients for the partners who we seek in the private sector. I think the third is, once again, as Madam President, you have said, to renew once again our commitment to multilateralism and to multilateral institutions such as UN Habitat. And as we participated, first and foremost, as host country with UN Habitat to co-host this with a contribution of $500,000. We have also as our commitment to UN Habitat, increased our earmark contributions from $70,000 to $100,000, and non-earmarked, we have made a pledge of an additional $100,000. And mine is to really call on all our partners, on all nations, to recognize the importance of the urbanization agenda, to recognize the importance of being able to have sustainable communities for our children and for our children's children, and for us to recognize that we cannot do this alone. We need each other, and we must work together. Let us work in solidarity to achieve these noble goals that we all agreed to under the SDGs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you.